on the one side tonight, I have Prahlad, Kakkar, ad guru, KV Sridhar, Chief Creative Officer of SapientNitro, another ad guru. Lallitha Aiyer is a PR professional and a consumer. She's on the side of Maggi tonight, which is the wrong side. Pratik Gupta is co-founder and director of Foxymoron, also on the wrong side tonight. Sorry to declare my bias so openly on this subject. I think I'm with the people on this subject. What the Nestle boss has done is unacceptable. C. Rajashekaran, advocate of the Madras High Court, is also on the other side tonight. And on the side tonight, which says that it is crazy that you have a product like this which is so openly breaking every single norm, not taking any regulatory standards, not keeping with any health standards, and actually poisoning you with infinite amounts of lead. Now, the question is whether that product should continue. Those who feel the Nestle company has gone overboard, Shailendra Singh to my right, Managing Director, Percept, Madhuresh, Kumar, National Convener of the National Alliance of People's Movements, Bejon, Misra, Consumer Policy Expert, and MR Venkatesh. I start with you, MR Venkatesh. They say unfounded. Okay, my problem is with the word unfounded. The Nestle boss flies down in his chartered flight and says, this is just an unfounded concern. The people of India have an unfounded concern about Maggi. We think we are safe. What do you think of that line of argument? MR Venkatesh, you can begin the debate and then we'll all come in. Yeah, MR.
I think this type of nonsense must be, actually answered with an arrest of the person under the Food Adulteration Act.
Absolutely, yes.
Because unless we do these type of things, this is a banana republic, whether it is cola, whether it is software, whether it is car, whether it is anything else. People think that we are a banana nation. We can do anything with the people here. We can do any type of testing of any products here. We can do anything and get away. Right from Bhopal, we have seen this happening day in and day out, that anything can be done in this country and nothing will happen. In fact, if this had happened in US, the Nestle chief would not have dared to fly into US.
Absolutely.
He comes here and thumbs our nose and tells us, you bloody Indians, we will stick to our standards and do whatever you do.
That's right.
And I don't know for what reason none of these governments have arrested him under the Food Adulteration Act.
Well,
what is the reason, I want to know? Why is the government being silent?
Okay, let Lallitha Aiyer respond to you, please. 1 second. Let Lallitha Aiyer respond to you and then we'll take the discussion forward. The question is, should the Nestle boss have been arrested the moment he came back because of the hurt and the damage that his product has created in the minds of hundreds of millions of Indians and also to their health? Lallitha Aiyer, I don't see the argument on the other side, but what is it anyway?
Frankly, Arnab, my opinion is that this entire episode has been blown a little out of proportion. If a whole generation of Indians has eaten Maggi for over a decade and they've grown up to be healthy adults and continue to live healthy, and I'm one of them, I doubt the entire veracity.
Okay, so your argument is no, 1 second. So no, this is the argument. 1 second. This is the argument. The argument is, and let me say,
no,
1 second. The argument is, I've had Maggi. You have had Maggi. 1 second.
We are not healthy today.
No, Bejon Misra. The argument is you're alive. So say thank you to Nestle. Thank you, Nestle. I'm alive. And don't complain about the amounts of poison that you may have pushed into my body. I don't understand that. Are you aware of what the? No, what's it? Bejon Misra? Bejon Misra, you want to respond to that? Yeah.
Today, India is considered to be the hub of diabetic patients, hub of non-communicable disease. We are all suffering from some disease or the other because of this adulterated food which is come into the food chain. And he tells us that we need to behave ourselves. He needs to first behave himself. You see, it's a victory for the consumers of India. It's a great victory, let me tell you that.
Sridhar,
he is liable for compensation. He is liable for compensation to the consumer. He should be paying billions of dollars to us.
Prahlad Kakkar and Sridhar.
Money he has earned.
No, Prahlad Kakkar and Sridhar, and then you can come in, Shailendra, on this. If this, in the United States of America, would the head of Nestle, if in 7 states in the USA, this particular product was to have had lead and MSG far in excess of allowed, of prescribed limits, would the CEO have coolly had a press conference, just taken on short of abuse the government of the United States of America? Would he have been able? Is this treatment that is reserved for the Indian consumer?
Tell me something.
Yeah, please.
What does the government laboratories credibility have? if you can fly for...
Fantastic. This is the most ridiculous argument I've heard in a long time.
I question the credibility of the manner in which they've tested the product.
I'd say you should thank the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India for making sure that more Indians are not poisoned. Shailendra Singh.
For the sake of a noodle, you're actually questioning the entire system that the country runs on.
I'm a part of it.
I mean, the food that we consume, the children, the food that is given to the kids in the country is duly approved by authorities in the nation. We got to toe the line. And this gentleman here doesn't follow the law of the land. And you know the truth. If this happened in America, Korea, China, God's sake, this guy wouldn't even fly there. I mean, this is India. This is India where he gets a chance where half the panel is actually standing for him.
For 30 years, you wouldn't have a product on the shelf which wasn't touched unless somebody asked for somebody for money.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's imagine that you got some truth in your argument. Having said that, 2 years later, you realize that this was the truth. What? That actually Maggi noodle had led, and the kids of this country...
This is a simple argument. You see, this MNC, Nestle, must ask itself the question, I think this company is looking utterly and totally, horribly ridiculous. What it's saying is blasphemous once it doesn't make sense. What they're saying, dear viewers, and I think I'm going to open up the phone lines with the permission of all our viewers and with the permission of our panelists. Lines are open right now, gentlemen. You can start calling. But as you call, I want you to think through the line of argument. The line of argument is this.
There is
the line of argument is this. The testing process is okay if it clears a poisonous product. No, one second. Please, let me complete my point.
Due diligence.
Sir, the fact is...
no due diligence or no...
The due diligence was okay as long as they were clearing Maggi.
No.
The moment the same test...
Nobody tested it.
How do you know nobody tested it? Then how did it get the certification?
How was it lying on the shelf then?
Your point here is...
So what happened for 30 years should continue to happen another 30 years, Prahlad.
Prahlad Kakkar, please understand.
There's no logic in that.
One second. By claiming that the concerns about Maggi are unfounded, Mr. Sridhar, Nestle is slamming the same testing process that gave this product the all clear all this while. So I don't understand this. As long as the testing process works for you, it's fine. As long as the minute the testing process finds out that there is poison in your product, the testing process has a problem, and then the people of India have a problem. Explain that. Explain that. Explain that. Let him come into this.
Till today,
explain this logically to me. I don't get it.
Nothing was conclusive. Till today, the manner in which it has happened was completely absurd. Till today,
which manner in which what happened?
A couple of states have cleared it, couple of states have not cleared it, and they have not listened to the point of view of the company. It is
what is the point of view of the company? Suppose somebody is found on a breathalyzer, and let's open this up for debate. Let's get everyone on the screen, please. Consider this, viewers. Suppose there is a driver out there, right, and he's driving this car and he's drunk, okay, and the driver is caught.
And the cop.
Then the driver...
And it takes 14 years for him to come to court.
Can a drunk driver come out with an argument? And this question is very simple, Prahlad. Kakkar, you're a logical man. Think this through. What if can the driver... Okay, Mr. Rajashekaran...
3 hours for him to get bail.
One second. Let the others who are on the wrong side also answer the question, please. Now, Mr. Rajashekaran, answer this question. You're a lawyer, right? You're from Chennai. Tell me, Mr. Rajashekaran, a drunk driver is caught on the streets, right? And the drunk driver goes out and tells the cop that, listen, I first question your process. I question the equipment that you're using to declare me drunk. The person says, my equipment is fine. Then the drunk driver goes out and says, Mr. Policeman, I arrest you for not catching me earlier. This is exactly what Maggi is doing. Maggi is... Mr. Rajashekaran...
driving the car.
Mr. Rajashekaran, and by the way, this is not a funny matter. This compromises the lives of hundreds of millions of Indian children. I tell you, they wouldn't be able to get away with this in America.
Exactly.
One second. Mr. Rajashekaran and then Lallitha Aiyer back. Yeah, Mr. Rajashekaran.
Yeah, Arnab, first and foremost, I am a patriotic Indian and a proud Indian. And eating Maggi is not unhealthy. It's very unfair to attack the Nestle products with a vested interest. That is my point.
No, what's the vested interest here? What's the vested interest? One second, Mr. Rajashekaran. Mr. Rajashekaran, in your state, there is a press release from the Tamil Nadu government, right, which says that the manufacture, storage and sale of this noodle brand is banned because the lead, which is poisonous, Mr. Rajashekaran, is well over the stipulated limit of 10 lakh per 2.5 parts per million, which is found in the samples. And that is why the samples were taken back. please tell me, forget the patriotism angle. Are you willing to be poisoned? You're in Tamil Nadu. Somebody gives you lead.
See,
somebody gives you lead.
If you apply the poisonous angle to it, you don't have a proper lab to check polonium-220.
Okay, would they do that in America? Would they do that in America?
What is the lab?
No, who decides what is proper?
What is the lab which has tested it and what ground?
Who decides?
See, you cannot accuse somebody with a
who decides? No, this is what's it? Mr. Venkatesh. Mr. Venkatesh will take it. Mr. Venkatesh and Mr. Rajashekaran.
You cannot follow something. UP is a state where they first crack down, which is not at all acceptable. UP is you don't have a road, you don't have electricity, you talk about the high-end laboratory which is going to check all this. It's ridiculous.
Performed by the Chennai General Hospital is not acceptable to you? Are you going to say that? Just because
see, Mr. Venkatesh, your argument is absurd. Venkatesh, you don't have any point to defend your point because the fact is, see, Nestle is a product for 30 years it has been selling the product. And one fine day you get up from your bed and say it is poisonous. I mean, what is the point? And arguing it. I mean, it is really funny and absurd. No, you don't have a point. I'm sorry, Venkatesh, you don't have a point. You are just arguing for the sake of it. It's really funny. You cannot ban, so you ban everything. Go on a bullock cart. Why are you traveling in a car? You go on a bullock cart.
Excuse me,
go to the villages. Where is
Right, just take a break for a while.
And watching TV. Watching TV.
Mr. Rajashekaran,
you don't watch TV. It will affect your eyesight.
No, Mr. Rajashekaran, calm down, gentlemen. Gentlemen, calm down, please. I'm requesting you to pull back yourself into the debate. Mr. Rajashekaran, I know. I'm glad to see that you're emotional about Maggi. You're the first person who's emotional about lead.
The way the government is conducting is too wrong. It's not the way.
Mr. I raise a basic question. No, gentlemen, just let me restore order for a while. Mr. Shailendra, just let's restore order for a while. The question is this, Mr. Venkatesh. Mr. Madhuresh is coming in now.
But I think let others come into the debate.
Let Madhuresh come into the debate. My question is not this Tamil Nadu. This has happened in Gujarat. This has happened in Assam. This has happened in Delhi. This has happened in Uttar Pradesh. In the government of Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, Kerala and Assam.
And this only happens in India, where actually there are people like him, Mr. Raju, actually advocating the case of Maggi. Mr. Raju, I don't understand one point at all. I think it is your argument that has led to Mr. Buckle to believe the fact that he can continue to be arrogant. The fact of the matter is that the CEO of Nestle doesn't realize the fact that today, globally, he's a joke because due to Maggi, one noodle is going to destroy the Nestle empire globally. And that is the reason, because he is feeling that voices like you are standing for him. How can a voice stand when it's a matter of children's health? I mean, come on, get a reality check. And you're telling me not to follow the law of the land? We should not understand what the law in India is? We shouldn't listen to them? We shouldn't follow it? Is that the way the country is going to run successfully? And so Mr. Buckle comes here, and with his arrogance, I loved it. I was laughing when he was having the press conference because he's slowly destroying Nestle globally. A noodle will destroy a Nestle empire.
And if it does, it's well deserved. Madhuresh coming into the debate. Mr. Rajashekaran, I'll come back to you in a bit. Mr. Rajashekaran, I'll come back to you in a bit. Mr. Rajashekaran, I'll come back to you in a bit. Now today, I'd like to go to Mr. Madhuresh here, and lines will be open. I'll start taking my first call in about 5 minutes from now. Today, Nestle, Madhuresh, has raised questions about the credibility of Indian testing methods. So let me read them a lesson. No, don't tell me what the fact is. Let me read them a lesson on how testing is actually done here. How comprehensive our tests are. How elaborate our tests are. Do you want me to give you details about how we determine the amount of monosodium glutamate in the food? Do you think Indians are foolish? Does this Mr. Buckle or whatever his name is think that we don't know basics of chemistry? We don't know the procedure to test MSG in India? Is it like making some intercontinental ballistic missile? Do we not know? No, it's ridiculous. He seems to come and indicate. I think this is a completely, this is some sense of supercilious, superficial superiority complex. It's arrogance.
He should visit our laboratories.
If he thinks,
he should visit our laboratories.
Arnab,
in India, we have world-class laboratories.
Yeah.
How many people in the panel have visited laboratories of India?
I think we should test.
I have visited more than 100 of them, which are the world class.
Arnab, I would only
What
say
are they
that
trying
I'm
to
really
say?
glad that you
There
are
are
doing
world-class
this.
laboratories
What
in
were the
India.
laboratories doing for 30 years?
World-class laboratories
What
in
were the
India.
same laboratories doing for 30 years?
World-class
What were the government
laboratories in
officials
India.
doing for 30 years?
They are doing their due diligence. They are doing their due diligence every day. They are working every day tirelessly.
No, one second.
The health and
No, one
safety of
second.
consumers.
Give them license to sell
They are
it.
doing
What
their
were
due
the labs
diligence
doing?
every day.
No, one
They do
fine
it
day you
every
get up
day.
and say we have got the best
Not
labs
one
in the
day.
world.
They caught it.
What
They
is
got
it?
evidences. They got evidences in front of you. Now you challenge it. Now you
30 years,
challenge.
where did this
And we
evidence
will
go?
challenge it. We
What
as
happened to the
consumers
30
will
years
challenge
then?
you.
Where did the lab go? What happened to the lab testing for past 30 years?
I say tonight,
They were telling the same
I'm being told, and by the way, I repeat tonight the reasons. Mr. Rajashekaran, 1 second, Mr. Rajashekaran. No, 1 second. Now, 1 second. I need to say something to Mr. Raj. Mr. Rajashekaran, remember one thing. It's all right to be technical. It's all right to be emotional. I know tonight, Mr. Rajashekaran, if you've not had dinner already, you will not go back and have a pack of noodles that has lead in it. So don't give me that technical argument. You will not compromise your health. And by the way, the health minister in India. All right, gentlemen, I understand your point, and I know that you know that what I said is absolutely right. The health minister of India has explained in detail.
He's unfair to the citizens.
The health minister of India. It's time for Mr. Madhuresh to come in. Madhuresh hasn't spoken yet. The health minister of India has explained in detail.
I will only have
Okay, go ahead, Madhuresh.
Just very quickly, Arnab.
Yeah.
Arnab, very quickly, just 2 points. I would just say, on World Environment Day, you are doing this. This is really good time for us to take a look at what is on our plate. What are we eating? Are we eating poison? That's first. Second, corporate accountability. I'm glad Ramesh, my friend Venkatesh, with whom I mainly generally disagree, is raising the question about the Dow chemicals, which is extremely important. And third, I think with this episode, we will have a lesson for us. Make in India campaign. Are we going to allow corporations to come here, question our law, make the profit, and then just scoot? Are we going to allow this?
Yeah.
These are the three things we really need to look at. And the fourth, last is GM foods, genetically modified foods. I am not a lab rat. I think it's time we said that.
Mr. Rajashekaran, calm down.
The third great technology is always pushed into India. This reminds me of the Pepsi and the Cola debate. When the Center for Science and Environment came up with the pesticides and these things, they said the testing methods are wrong. How can testing methods be wrong? Whenever it's convenient to you, you say this is fine, this is perfect, we are doing well and good. And now you are
what he's saying. Mr. Rajashekaran, 1 second.
Or foreign corporations.
Mr. Rajashekaran, just a minute. To say that Indians don't know how to test is ridiculous. I know the hundreds of thousands and millions of Americans. 1 second, sir. Hundreds of millions of Americans come to India to get themselves treated every year as part of medical tourism.
That's fine.
So you can come. No. You can carry out a complex redo bypass surgery in India.
I'm a patriotic Indian.
No, don't tell me about patriotism.
I don't say that.
FDA USA has acknowledged that we have got the best laboratories of the country, of the world. FDA USA has
what are you
acknowledged
doing
that.
for 30 years?
Who are
Why
these
did
people?
you do it? Why suddenly
We are doing it. Who said you are not doing it? We have been doing it. You don't know what we are doing. Do you know what you are protecting the criminals?
No, why
you are
did he give
protecting
license?
criminals.
Why did he give permission to sell it?
We have prosecuted.
Why did he give? What are you doing for?
Why today? Because they are got exposed. Why today? Because they are got exposed.
No, only today you.
That is why we are doing it.
Now, 1 second.
You'll give them
expose them.
Mr. Rajashekaran, it's not as simplistic as you think. It's not as simplistic as you think.
We have exposed the criminals. We have exposed the criminals. We have exposed the criminals in our country.
Mr. Rajashekaran, 1 second. Mr. Rajashekaran, now please stop, please. Mr. Rajashekaran, Mr. Rajashekaran.
I mean, I don't agree there.
Mr. Rajashekaran, look at this. Mr. Rajashekaran, 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Just calm down, please, gentlemen. Calm down. This is this Maggi wheat pack, right? This is the one which Madhuri Dixit was doing the advertisement for. Lallitha Aiyer, are you with me, Lallitha Aiyer? This is the Maggi oats pack. Inside the Maggi oats pack, there is a Maggi oats masala instant noodle taste maker.
Not approved.
Yes, everybody knows that.
that's all right. Let me complete my point. So why are you getting emotional about this? One second. The third point is that inside this is a tastemaker, Maggi, which is Nestle. Lallitha did not even get the permission of the Indian government to put the tastemaker. They didn't even care. They did not care. Now, if that tastemaker, I'm not saying it has, if that tastemaker had 100 times more lead, not that I'm saying it has, we would know. These companies don't even care.
I would say...
That's completely criminal.
I would agree with that.
That's completely true. That's completely true. So how can you say it's not true? Here it is, sir. Here it is, sir. It's true. I'll read out now from this. No, one second. I have with me the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India FDA order, and the FDA order says
what
this.
What are they doing for so many years?
This one
they
goes to Madhuri Dixit. This one, one second.
We have been pushing them in jails.
This one goes to Madhuri Dixit. Madhuri Dixit should ask herself whether she knew that the product she was advertising for did not have basic government clearance. Which means whatever, if the company wanted to sell whatever in the name of a tastemaker, it could have. It would compromise people. If it wanted to put something radioactive inside this pack, it could have. That's how bad it is, M.R. Venkatesh, and I want to know what
Deceptive advertisement, misleading advertisement.
It's a
They have cheated us. They have cheated the consumers of the country.
No, I don't know why you're laughing. This is what is called, Mr. Sridhar. No, Mr. Sridhar, I know you're shocked today. You and Prahlad Kakkar know this. One second. This is what is called a non-standardized food product.
All this years, what are the authorities doing?
If
this is allowed to be sold, people will consume it. You cannot stop that. Somebody should have stopped it.
Somebody smuggled.
No. Today you have been caught, sir, so you better
just a minute. I now want M.R. Venkatesh to respond to this. What was the government doing is the argument coming from my left constantly. Yes, please, M.R. Venkatesh, you respond to that. By the way, I just want to say, after getting reports from every state in India, the central government, the Narendra Modi government, has said there is a confirmed opinion that the Maggi product was not following the ingredients and safety measures which are required. This is not a joke. This is conclusive. Maggi has not followed Indian regulations in the labeling of their product. Yes, please.
I'm not defending them. Only thing which I'm saying is what authorities been doing all this years.
Mr. Sridhar, Maggi, the food and safety standards, it's a food company. They cannot tell me that they don't know that food products have to undergo basic safety and standards. It is in there. No, but they haven't. Now tell me, why haven't they? Why haven't they? Tell me, Mr. Prahlad Kakkar, let me tell you very frankly, you're a foodie yourself. You've run a restaurant. Would you not have some responsibility if tomorrow in the restaurant which you were running, somebody were to smuggle lead into the food, even if the person didn't die immediately, and as one of our panelists said today, that be grateful that you're not dead.
Exactly.
Would you morally not be accountable for feeding poison to your consumers, to your people who come to your restaurant?
Of course.
Tell me.
But the question is that how many of these laboratories actually corroborate
if your restaurant would have been caught, not that it is, I hope never it does, but what if your restaurant tomorrow would have been caught by a government authority would you not be in jail tonight?
I would be closed down.
Exactly. That's the point.
The arrogance, Prahlad, of this company is shocking me. You know about, I'm not going to name the brands on television, but enough automobile giants have pulled their cars back if they're faulty cars. Thousands of cars have gone off the street. What is the arrogance of Maggi? The minute the controversy came up, they should have just pulled it off. Clear the air, and come back with a product fully approved. This is sheer case of believing that Indians are fools and they're going to manage to get their way across and carry on.
Let's hear it from the other side once again right now, Mr. Rajashekaran. Now I'm coming to you. Lallitha, Aiyer, Nestle claims, so I just want you to know, Lallitha, Nestle says their products are being extensively tested and floats the claim that maybe methods of testing are different.
I agree with Nestle.
No.
Absolutely.
Mr. Rajashekaran, don't agree blindly. Be a little logical out here, please. I'm speaking to Ms. Lallitha.
You will always agree. You will always agree and compromise the health and safety of the consumers. You will always agree.
I'm speaking to Ms. Lallitha, please.
I can't hear you clearly.
Sir, I'll speak to you. Mr. Rajashekaran, just allow me to communicate with Ms. Lallitha Aiyer for a minute. My point here is, what do internal tests have to do with the certification of a product? When the government of India, in which the product is being sold, is on record to say the tastemaker in the product has not been approved by the country's external food authority. These are regulations.
Arnab, your own Arnab, your own sister publication, the Mumbai Mirror, 2 days back carried a report that the Maharashtra government says there is nothing negative found in the test done in Maharashtra.
Miss, that is, no, by the way, no, one second. The sister publication and all other publications, not just the sister publication, have also published the following for your kind information, that Maggi has found more lead than permitted in Delhi. It has also said Maggi has 17 times more lead than permissible in Uttar Pradesh. 1 second, that millions of consumers and millions of children who are a huge market for Maggi have been exposed to excess lead in their diet. Tell me tonight, what would you say to all the parents out there and all the family members and all the children? Answer them today. You are standing here for a product that is suspected of having poison in its ingredient. Lead is poison. Lallitha, please, let's not be blind about it. Let's not be blind about it.
I am not
you cannot
blind.
sell small or large amounts of poison and make people pay for it with their lives.
Why are there so many contradictory reports?
There are no contradictory. There are a number of reports. You can't pick up one. Just a minute. Lallitha, you say you are only quoting the Maharashtra government. What about the Uttar Pradesh government? What about the Delhi government? What about the Madhya Pradesh government? What about the Uttarakhand government? What about the Jammu and Kashmir government? What about the Gujarat government? What about the Assam government? What is the Kerala government? All of these governments, 1 second, and they are not foolish governments with foolish people. They all saw enough reason to ban Maggi before the credibility of the health quotient was conclusively established. It's not an unfounded concern that the Food Standards Authority of India, which is the central approving food authority that is responsible for granting approvals to food, which is on the shelves, has made a recall of 9 variants of Maggi instant noodles, 9 of them. Now, the only argument I have from your side and those backing this product, Maggi, is that government is bad, Maggi is good. Now, I open up the phone lines. No, government is...
That's a very black and white statement.
My question is...
That's the basic argument.
No, life isn't black and white, Arnab, please.
No,
it's a shade of grey.
My question is, what was the government doing all these years?
That's not
that's
no argument. Shailendra.
Ma'am, that is hardly an argument to say that if 30 years this was allowed, it should be allowed for the next 30 years. How does that make sense at all? I mean, would that be okay with you? That if Maggi...
Why now?
I mean, hang on, talk to the organization.
Okay.
Maybe it's an insider's job, but having said that, the authorities are actually proving the fact.
Okay,
that
first caller tonight is Sridhar Krishnani. I'm taking a lot of calls tonight because we are getting a lot of calls on the subject. Before I go to Mr. Sridhar Krishnani, I want to make one point. Nestle today says the trust of the consumer is shaken. Right? They say the trust of the consumer is shaken because of confusion. What confusion? What possible confusion could there be when the Union Health Minister and of the Government of India says this product is not been approved and does not meet our basic standards? What's the confusion?
I think Prahlad,
what's the confusion? Sridhar Krishnani
for a brand custodian.
Sridhar Krishnani from Mumbai. Good evening, sir. Go ahead. Reduce the volume of your television set, otherwise we won't be able to hear you. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Krish.
I reduce the television.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Krishnani, quickly. Yeah.
See, I am consuming this product since the last 2 years. After I think the advertisements in the news and in the TV, I am suffering from a serious stomach problem now. Now I know why it has become because.
There you are.
Hello.
And you regularly consume it?
I'm regularly consuming for 2 years.
Okay.
There you are.
Well, okay, Mr. Krishnani, there you are. I mean, I'm not drawing a link here today, but basically Nestle says the product has been taken off because there is an environment of
people.
Madhuresh.
Children have had allergy with this.
Yeah, absolutely, Madhuresh. Go ahead,
I'm saying there are children who have had allergy with this product.
Absolutely. 1 second. Nestle says today my problem with Nestle is it is not willing to blame itself.
Exactly.
It does not have basic decency.
Us.
Right?
They should be compensating us. They've earned millions of dollars.
No, one second. Bejon, let Bejon, one at a time.
They have illegally enriched themselves by selling products which were not approved. So they are liable for compensation. They should pay high damages to the consumers of this country. They should be paying high damages. The global head should have announced today that they are paying $1 billion to India for compensation
they violated
for all
it.
these deceptive things which they have done. Instead of that, they are trying to blame the government.
And
they
let
should
me
have come
say-
on their own.
let me
and
say-
they should have said
Mr.
that
Misra-
they will pay compensation.
No, Mr. Mishra, let me also say this. This is not only about Nestle.
History.
No, there is not only about
Everybody.
Nestle. Just a minute.
Everybody who's liable.
Can I? No,
Arnab,
one
this is
second.
also-
I just want to say here, there are so many global companies. No, Prahlad Kakkar, in America, there is another company, I'm not naming it right now, which has sold faulty hip joints in India.
Exactly.
Okay,
We know that. We know their names.
So there is a globally known company.
FDA Maharashtra has exposed that.
No. There is 1 second, Bejon Misra. Let people just hear this out. There is a company which has sold faulty hip joints in India, which can compromise the lives of Indians. Madhuresh and MR Venkatesh, feel free to come in. A faulty hip joint can lead to situations where a person can die. No, but one
is allowed.
No, let me complete my point. Let me complete the point. I know today that there are hundreds of Indians. 1 second. There are hundreds of Indians. Madhuresh, there are hundreds of Indians who are victims. They're not being paid a single rupee by this company in compensation.
Exactly.
The same company pays hundreds of millions of dollars in compensation to Americans who may have got their joints, and it replaces them.
Coca-Cola compensation bill is still pending in the assembly at this moment.
And that
it has been pending during the UPA time. The Kerala Assembly passed a Coca-Cola compensation bill. It's still pending. I'm saying these corporations need to be held accountable. Dow Chemicals, I'm missing my friend Satyu here. He would have talked about it, how Dow Chemicals have avoided responsibility all this while. Nestle baby food products have been facing boycott all across the world since 1970. And here in India, we have been allowing it to go on.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what are we talking about?
And our next caller on the subject is Babu Rao from Bengaluru. Babu Rao, good evening. Mr. Babu Rao, Madhuresh, let's hear from Babu Rao. Getting many callers. Mr. Babu Rao, good evening.
Good evening, Arnab.
Good, how are you, sir? Go ahead, sir.
I want at least the panel to keep quiet for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I have something important to tell. I have been a head of a multinational company.
Sure.
And I have worked. And 18 years back, in a connector that we were manufacturing, that is not an eatable product, there was lead. And we invested $1 million to get lead out of all the gold plating. And how serious it is something that has to go into the heads of the people who are sitting there in the panel, and also talking about the defending. Second thing I want to tell Mr. Rajashekaran very directly, the very fact that there is a statistical variation in the samples across India, which means that there is no process control. Let him not keep on harping that for 30 years there is no control. Things can go wrong in a second shift, things can go wrong in a first shift, things can go wrong in 1 hour. What it shows is Nestle doesn't have a process control, and
Bejon,
for many years they have been doing it, getting away. It is nothing to do with the lab, it is something to do with the process. So they have taken for granted, and it's shameful that you people are sitting here and defending Nestle. The same people, if you go on a panel in America and defend, you'll be cut into pieces outside when you come out. Let me tell you, without missing my words, people should be ashamed sitting there and defending. And since I have worked for 30 years in a multinational company, I know what kind of a thing happened.
Some of what you say is very alarming, Mr. Babu Rao. Thanks for speaking up. And Mr. Rajashekaran, I hope you heard that. I don't agree with the expression of violence which has been used there by the panelists. But as I go to Mr. Venkatesh, I want to add one more point. Nestle, one second, Mr. Babu Rao, one more. The Nestle, Mr. Rajashekaran, it's not a point to joke about. Nestle today claims that despite number of scientific tests run on their product across India, which have proved that Maggi could be toxic for the body because of its high content of lead and MSG, the moot point which is unanswered by them is what explains the fact that the MNC put out a product in the market which had the stamp of the FSSAI, but its tastemaker ad was not approved by the company. This is what I call falsification of information to the consumer. You are lying to the consumer.
Exactly.
This is
because
go ahead. You're lying to the consumer about poison in your product.
We don't arrest people. That is because we don't treat them the way they should be treated under the law. We give them Aarti and say, Atiti Devo Bhava, bring them here, listen to all this nonsense that they give us on the press conference and put it on the headlines and say that, look, Nestle's defense, people are coming out, well-meaning people are coming out and saying that, look, Nestle is...
when we let, but at the same point, at the same point, when we, one second, just at a broader point, Madhuresh has a point here today. We let companies like Union Carbide kill our people and get away, right? We protected them, our politicians gave them safe passage. Mr. Venkatesh, let me speak for a minute. We let Quattoroki off, and we know who and which political party and which politicians let Quattoroki off. We could find him, this government couldn't. We even let people who dropped arms in Purulia out, and our intelligence agencies allegedly conspired to let these traitors out of our country. What will Mr. Bulcke think? Mr. Bulcke will think that he's dealing with a government and a system which is spineless. And the people of India are today, I can tell you, if I take a straw poll today, 99% of our viewers would want this Mr. Bulcke, or whatever his name is, to be up there in handcuffs today instead of telling the people of India that their concerns are unfounded. Ravindra Goyal from Lucknow is a retired engineer today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ravindra Goyal from Lucknow. Good evening, sir. Mr. Goyal, good evening, sir. Yeah.
क्या मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ?
आप हिंदी में बोलिए, जरूर बोलिए, प्लीज कहिए।
देखिए साहब, अर्नब जी, सबसे पहले मेरा ये कहना है कि इसके लिए क्या सरकारी मशीनरी जिम्मेदार नहीं है? क्योंकि नेस्ले को 20 साल से यहाँ ऑपरेट करने दिया उन्होंने, उनका फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ सैंपलिंग क्या इतना गंदा है कि 20 साल तक ये नेस्ले ऑपरेट कर सका?
जायज सवाल है। नहीं, बेजॉन मिश्रा जी कुछ कह रहे हैं आपको। बेजॉन मिश्रा गो है।
बट सुनिए, वो तंत्र आज पकड़े हैं उनको एक्सपोज किए हैं, क्योंकि वो हम लोगों के पीठ पीछे काम कर रहे थे, और अब वो पकड़े गए। You see, उन्होंने
Bejon, he's saying, talking back to you. No, he's responding to you.
बात पकड़े गए हैं, क्यों नहीं 0 ईयर पे पकड़े गए वो?
हाँ, क्योंकि उस समय लोग वो काम नहीं कर रहे थे जो आज पकड़े गए। हो सकता है कि उन्होंने अपने तंत्र में वो खुलासा नहीं लाए।
फिर हमारा जो फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ सैंपलिंग है वो फॉल्टी है। आप देखिए, जो भी बिजनेसमैन है, वेदर इंडियन बिजनेसमैन और मल्टीनेशनल, वो तो प्रॉफिट मेकिंग के लिए ही होता है, चाहे इंडियन बिजनेसमैन। आपको याद होगा आज से 10 साल पहले
नहीं चलेगा, अब प्रॉफिटिंग नहीं चलेगा।
What's it, Bejon Mishra? Okay, one interesting point. The point is made.
तंत्र को स्ट्रिक्ट होना पड़ेगा साहब, तभी नहीं चल सकता।
रविंद्र गोयल जी, शैलेंद्र भी कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आपको। लोग ये भी कहेंगे, देर से दुरुस्त से पकड़े तो गए।
रविंद्र जी, आज नेस्ले पकड़ा गया है, आने वाले वक्त में हमारे ही लोग पकड़े जाएंगे। ये जो नया भारत है, ये नया भारत अनकॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग है, ये एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा कि पूरा वर्ल्ड ये सोचे कि भारत के लोग बेवकूफ हैं। तो आने वाला वक्त बहुत बदलने वाला है, और उसकी शुरुआत इस तरीके से हो रही है।
बिल्कुल,
लेकिन इसमें गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी को ही सख्त होना पड़ेगा।
रविंद्र गोयल जी, बात तो ये है, and I'll go to some other callers right now, but Madhuresh wanted to come in. The point is, we should ask Nestle whether Nestle is indulging in 100% double standards, because I've quoted the examples on the Newshour debate last night, and our viewers will remember that the same company voluntarily withdraws products that are perceived to be faulty in the US. In America, the same company does not wait for tests.
The point which the gentleman was making is, I'm not defending Nestle. I'm not an ambassador of Nestle. The only point which I am saying is, our own authorities must have checks and balances. How can our own people allow anything to be consumed?
No, in America,
we should not allow. Americans are very good. Why we are not as good?
You see,
why we are allowing?
I'll tell you why. I'm sorry. Can I say one thing to you? Nestle is scared of the Chinese government, and Nestle is so scared of problems in China, because they know that in 2005, this same company, viewers, you need to know the history of this. In 2005, this same company called Nestle, there was excess iodine which was found in baby milk in China. And the Chinese the Chinese government said, and I think you remember this, the Chinese government said, you are not going to compromise with the health of Chinese children. Period. No debate over it. The Nestle boss did not fly down to China then and say, Mr. Chinese minister and Mr. Chinese government, you know nothing about it. We have tested this in America, so don't complain too much. What this company is saying here today is that they will not mess around with the health of American children. They will not compromise with the health of Chinese children. But they will walk over the health of Indian children, and that is my fundamental problem. And we can't allow them to. We can't allow them to. Madhuresh is only Madhuresh on the screen, please. Madhuresh, please, National Convener of the National. Madhuresh.
I would only say one thing.
Madhuresh, come in.
Arnab, I would only say one thing, that what stops the Indian government from cancelling all the licenses of the Nestle tonight in the country? Stop their operations in the country. Let them halt. Absolutely, let them stop any operations in the country. Nestle Pure Life goes off the shelf. Nestle Cerelac goes off the shelf. Their chocolates goes off the shelf. Maggi goes off the shelf. Let everything go down. Let's see what they do. Bring them to their knees.
Mr. Madhuresh, I now say, take it one step further. We talk about lead in this poisonous lead in Maggi. It's a small amount of lead. What's up, Mr. Rajashekaran? Mr. Rajashekaran, please don't keep smiling over the debate. It's a serious subject, please. Please understand. Don't laugh about this subject, Mr. Rajashekaran. Today, I want you to understand. I have got a message right now from one of my viewers who said, one of my viewers says, my brother died. Please hear me. He says, my brother died because there was a hip joint which was put in my brother, and that hip joint was faulty and it had lead. And it was an MNC brand, a big MNC brand. Is it a joke? Somebody dies because of faulty hip joints. Somebody is being fed slow poison because of a little bit of lead, because people can get away with it. You see, on June 14th, in the United States of America, 10,000 packets of chocolate peanut butter ice cream that were incorrectly labeled as another flavor, putting consumers with peanut allergies at risk, were recalled after one consumer complaint. One complaint. And this company in America, Madhuresh, you are damn right, this company came down on its knees. One complaint.
Exactly.
The possibility of hurting one American child's health.
This company, other companies, other corporations in the US will do the same, but not in India. What is stopping them?
Madhuresh, we are not united as a nation here. Is the government
responsible for it or not? And I think it's hard time to ask our government as well.
I wish.
No, you can respond to him directly.
I wish the 8 panelists.
American authorities, they check and then they enforce. Indian authorities, we don't check then we don't enforce.
Sir, with all due respect, I wish as a nation that all 8 people on the panel were on one side today, because there's only one side in this, and that side is to protect the lives of our people. And inappropriate, incorrect products should not be sold to our children. Period. Game over. I think we need to unite as a nation and have a very strong stance on it.
Shailendra, what I want to know is, out of all the food that you eat, forget about junk food.
Nah, I know that argument coming up.
Okay. Yeah. Out of all the food that you eat, how much of it is toxic?
What argument is that? I'm asking about the responsibility.
No, forget that. Just tell me, as a country...
Prahlad, I am not educated. I am a normal consumer, Prahlad. I am not supposed to be qualified.
Madhuresh is responding.
As a country,
Madhuresh, respond to Madhuresh.
Supposed to be responsible.
What are we talking about?
Madhuresh is responding to you. Madhuresh is responding to me. Go ahead. Madhuresh and Prahlad.
I'm just saying, Mr. Kakkar, you will die taking poison once. You don't need to take it 3 times a day. As simple as that. What kind of argument is that?
No,
that
but
you are
drink
taking
milk every day.
Fast food just once.
You eat vegetables every day.
How much of food are we eating?
No.
You are really making it seriously?
The initiative of New India, which is where we want to be a no-nonsense country.
Is that this is a beginning, as a country, shouldn't we start at basics?
Prahlad, why not whacking this brand out of the market and saying, till you don't get your act right, do not come back to this country. Period.
After that, what?
After that, what? We don't people.
No, die without a Maggi. No, I'll tell you what will happen. The people who are making packs.
After that, no.
Are we going to clean up our milk?
People will get conscious. Yes, Prahlad, it takes a mastic to light a fire.
No. Stop being double standard.
Not at all, Prahlad. This will set a tone, Prahlad, to ensure that the nation is known to be a no-nonsense nation. Come on, Prahlad.
What happened after the Coke-Pepsi controversy? Everything was polluted. Everything was proved.
How long do you want to be a chalta hai India?
No.
Nahi chalta hai.
What did we do?
We are doing now. Why are you not on the side of when it's being done?
What I'm saying is...
Why are you advocating
why you
a
know,
multinational who wants to come here
forget the multinational.
tonality?
It's very easy to hang a multinational boss.
Please.
Hang anybody who is creating and producing and selling products which are substandard and hurting.
Can I open up the lines again?
You want to know 500 Indian products?
Bring it on.
Can I tell you this, Prahlad Kakkar? One second. Prahlad, it doesn't stop there. There is something called, Nestle this month, this year in the United States, this month and this year in the United States voluntarily announced it will remove artificial flavors and 10% sodium from its packaged foods in the country, and says not just that, we are very concerned about the health of Americans. One second. This same company says we are so concerned about the health of Americans, we will do this voluntarily. No government had to do it. Tell me something. Is the health of Americans more...
I want to know...
No, is the life of an Indian more expensive?
Crucify Nestle.
No.
Okay. After that, what happens?
I'll tell you the truth.
Who's crucifying
After that, what happens?
Who's crucifying Nestle? Who's crucifying Nestle? How are you crucifying Nestle?
You're putting the facts out.
Let's do it.
Nestle is a company which is
after that, what happens?
So what?
The systems are set. The standards are set.
Who? What happened after the Coke and Pepsi war?
We all know what happened.
Why do you live in the past, man?
What is the past?
It is the past. There is a new India thing in the present.
We found toxins in Coke and Pepsi. And we found that in all our foods. So what did we do about the rest of
this generation? Present is the past. Why are you living in the past?
Is not the past, but
this. Prahlad, I'll tell you, I just flew an airline today. I just came here to Mumbai, and I used to eat this upma where you put hot water for 8 minutes, and it suddenly becomes the most delicious upma. Today I didn't order it.
Yeah, 1 second now.
I didn't order it. I didn't know what was happening in that upma. That hot water for 8 minutes made it the most sexy
in the water.
Just one.
I don't know, Prahlad. But it scared me.
I don't buy that. Now, gentlemen, please separate this argument. The point is this tonight, Prahlad Kakkar, understand the thing. A company goes out of its way to remove artificial flavors and sodium in packaged products in the USA, but brazens it out when it comes to multiple tests showing that not that it has sodium, it has lead. So what it says is simple. The understanding I get is Americans can't have even a little bit more sodium, but Indians can have a lot more lead. And I now open up the line. Sanjay Prasad, no, please, I've heard your side.
Issue here.
You're the viewers tonight. You're the viewers.
Is there a bigger issue?
The bigger issue, the bigger issue is that, I'm sorry to say this company that makes Maggi is guilty of double standards. That's the issue tonight.
Crucify them. Then what's next?
What next? You think people of India won't survive without a bit of Maggi?
No.
Sanjay Prasad from Bengaluru, next caller tonight. Sanjay Prasad.
What next? Are we going to clean up our groundwater?
No. Are
we going to clean up our groundwater?
Are we? Please understand precisely what Nestle is doing in India, saying there is no added MSG. It is lying to Indian consumers. It is feeding them poison. It is putting out a misleading label.
Will you drive a car with a wrong axle?
What?
You're trying to advocate the fact that if a car tomorrow is given to you...
I'm talking about water.
Why are you going to water? Food, car.
Okay, what's it? Gentlemen, Sanjay Prasad, I'm moving on. Sanjay Prasad from Bengaluru, please. Sanjay Prasad, good evening. Sorry to keep you waiting. Yep, go ahead. Sanjay Prasad.
Yeah, so Arnab, I think there is a bit of a dispute about whether Indian labs can do the test or not. I work in analytics, and I have been a chemistry student.
Sure.
I would cover both the parts. So first, there should be ways in which scientific ways to draw samples, and then there is a point whether the tests have been done using the right protocol. I think both the things could be verified, and then the point that these samples can be tested overseas.
Okay, 1 sec. Can I ask you something, Sanjay? By which every time there is a murder or there is unfortunately somebody is killed or poisoned in India, are we to say that we should never believe any Indian testing? Let's just close down all forensic labs in the country.
I am not saying that.
No, because I believe Sanjay, that I believe that Indians are capable of basic chemistry testing. I mean, we are not that backward a nation.
Of course, we are capable. Are we doing it?
You're making an assumption that they are not. You are making an assumption that they are not. M.R. Venkatesh, would you like to respond to the concern raised by Sanjay?
Take your point.
probably would have also certification.
Arnab,
Sanjay, MR Venkatesh
one of the best labs. I'm not a great chemistry student, but I know for sure that we have some of the best chemist labs and best chemists working, and some of the most diligent and honest people are there in these labs, and so there is no need to distrust these labs at any point in time. What we require is that the law of this land must be put into motion, and if there is, and whatever evidence I'm seeing in the public domain stares at me, is that there is a clear case of food adulteration. Put people behind bars and give them the very Maggi that they have been selling in the market, in the prison. Then you see all these people will come on the knees, and then this will be a lesson to all these MNCs who are trying to use us as guinea pigs. Unless we do this, unless we do this and determinedly, we will be seen as a banana republic. The next set of Maggi, next set of Coca-Cola, next set of Pepsi, next set of drugs, and God knows how many drugs are unsafe in this country and they're being sold. I am told that some of these OTC drugs that are being sold are not even fit for human consumption or even cattle consumption. That comes in as OTC drugs in this country, and we have to necessarily push our people and ensure that the authorities are putting their foot down, coming out with evidences, cleaning up the mess. And this is what this is all about. And if you are going to say our people are incapable and only brushing it aside without any evidence, I'm sorry to say people don't have any point in debating this.
No, I think
I think there is some.
No, I think we should not be so. I think we should not be so underconfident to believe that Indian labs cannot test whether there are additives in food here. I mean, that way we are just giving them an easy way out. Bejon Misra, Surendra Bejon Misra. We can point to
Arnab.
Yeah.
I salute the media.
Yeah.
You know, I salute the media. In the last 3 days, the amount of awareness which has come within the children. I heard children telling me, I have stopped taking Maggi, I don't want Maggi. Because they have understood the unhealthiness of such food, and they have said that they will start taking healthy food, they will disband junk food. So this is a huge awareness which has come into India, which Nestle should realize.
Lallitha, no. I now go to the other side before I go to our next caller, who is calling in from Nagpur. Lallitha, I give you one more chance to come into the debate. Please explain this. Now, what happens if a company lies? This company makes a different claim about the tastemaker part. Now, what they are saying is that the government lab does not know how to test, and the tastemaker was in open condition for 2 months, and hence they are saying this particular sample is not correct. Right? It's like saying that you're basically selling bottled water. One of the bottles of bottled water is found to have arsenic in it. Not one, but say 7 bottles of bottled water in several states were found to have arsenic in it. Let me not even talk about lead, because there's a certain blasé attitude about lead. There is this whole argument being, well, we live in a poisonous society, our soil is poisonous, our air is poisonous, our water is poisonous. Hence we are being slow poisoned anyway. Lead is just one more addition to the slow poison, but it's fine. We live with it. I put it this way today. Are we talking about the extent of poisoning? Tell me, Lallitha, if you had a bottle, if you were to go out there and buy a bottle of mineral water, and someone were to tell you there is 0.000001 part per ppm arsenic in that water, would you go ahead and say, what's the big deal? A bit of arsenic. Even if you were not sure, if there was a point, let me ask, Lallitha, I haven't finished. Suppose you knew there was 1 in a million chance.
I think if one was aware
1 in a million chance that the bottle of water that you, if 1 in a million chance that the bottle of water which you were buying had 0.0001% of arsenic in it, would you go ahead and drink the water anyway?
It depends.
Depends.
It depends how close I was to the brand, how long I had been using the brand, and how much I trusted the brand.
Oh, I asked this question to the viewers.
I don't think when water came, it was branded. When water is found in its natural state, it's not branded, it's not Coca-Cola water, it's not Kinley, it's not Bisleri. What are we talking about?
We're talking about
what is the argument we are making?
It's still toxic.
Does water come in brands? It comes out of your tap, municipal water, or in the hand pump, or in the wells. It's a natural flowing water. It's not branded water.
No, I think you're not getting the seriousness of the question which I'm asking out here. The question is of deliberate poisoning of the consumer who you are also taking money from. I don't think a company would not be aware.
A deliberate act of negligence.
It is a deliberate act of negligence.
Your point, Arnab.
It's a deliberate act of negligence.
Is not so pure
It's a
today.
deliberate act of negligence.
No, so now we are
Why
now.
are we only going after MNC?
No, now 5 minutes on the debate.
act of
I'm
negligence.
going to Surendra Mahajan, who's calling in from Nagpur. Interesting twist in the debate. As of now, we've gone. No, Mr. Rajashekaran, as of now, the argument is yes, there's poisoning. There's slow poisoning. Now the question is whether the company knew about it or didn't know about it. Interesting.
Deliberate act. It's a deliberate act of negligence.
There's an act of commission and there's an act of omission.
Deliberate act of negligence.
No.
They knew very well. They knew it very well.
MR Venkatesh. MR Venkatesh, please on the screen.
There is no Mens Rea and Food Adulteration Act. If you adulterate the food, it is period. You are behind the bars. Please understand the law. There is no mens rea in such cases. Please understand and read the law. Once you adulterate a food and do something which is contrary to the law,
that is your point, Mr. Venkatesh. Venkatesh, that is your point. But the company has made it very clear that it is very safe for consumption.
As a good lawyer, you don't know the law. Rajashekar, you don't know the law.
No, you don't teach me law. Don't teach me law.
It is.
So you are not a lawyer. I know law. I know law and I know what is happening now. It is more than politics. It is more than politics than the fact.
You are wrong.
Than the harsh truth.
As a lawyer, you are wrong. Please understand the food adulteration.
No. It does nothing. You have fabricated the whole case. The company has come out with a press release and the CEO has said it is very safe. You have fabricated. You have a vested interest. It is a political witch hunt by the authorities and the government. It is political witch hunt. That is what my point is.
Food Adulteration Act.
No, it has nothing to do with law. It is a political witch hunt.
Behind bars.
Okay, for your kind information, I have been told.
What is this bar?
Mr. Rajashekaran, one second, Mr. Rajashekaran. You began by saying that you are a patriot. 1 second. No, 1 second. 1 second. One second, Mr.
This is not the end of it. You need proof and
Mr. Rajashekaran, you said that you are a patriot.
You cannot say that it is they have to be arrested. The court doesn't work at your PS.
Surendra Mahajan is calling in from Nagpur. Mr. Rajashekaran, I'd like to only tell you that the presence of lead is something which a class 5 student in a preliminary chemistry class can find out, please. Let's not underestimate Indians so much. We don't need to learn from this Mr. Buckle or whatever his name is. We know what it is. Surendra Mahajan from Nagpur. Surendra Mahajan. No, you can't make it political. Mr. Mahajan, good evening.
Hello. Yes, good evening, Arnabji.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I'm a chemical student, chemistry student.
Yeah.
I'm doing this business, food ingredient business since last 15 years.
Yeah.
I just wonder when that madam says that this lead poison, I am eating this lead poisons since last 10 years and I am healthy. And I am healthy. You just tell me this poison is very in amounts of very less in amount. That doesn't affect you immediately.
Yeah.
After all, it is a lead. And lead is, if it in particular above quantity, it is definitely going to affect that lady or anybody else.
Correct. Yeah.
So it should not be argued what that madam says that I am consuming it since last 10 years and I find myself fit and healthy.
Surendra Mahajan's question to you, Lallitha, go ahead.
Absolutely, because the milk I drink is adulterated, the water I drink is adulterated, the air I breathe is adulterated. I mean, so what does one do? We are still alive and we're still kicking.
No, but madam, one doesn't know. Madam, one doesn't know
all right.
how it is affecting you.
No, this is
how it is affecting you doesn't know. If you test it in laboratory.
Will you have the same approach for your child?
I have done my health test, sir. I have done my health test and I'm
Miss Lallitha Aiyer, I think you're personalizing it too much. It's not about you, ma'am. With respect to you, it's not about you. It's about the hundreds of millions of Indian children who have been compromised on this. I would like to just share with you one more example in this, just to validate the point which I'm making here. The FDA says that a company cannot use the no added MSG label even if the ingredient contains natural traces of MSG. That was precisely what Nestle was doing in India. It keeps saying no added, no, but the FDA requires that food containing added MSG listed in the ingredient panel on the packaging as monosodium glutamate. However, MSG occurs naturally in ingredients like hydrolyzed vegetable protein, autolyzed yeast, yeast extracts, soy extracts, etc. So FDA requires that these products be listed on the ingredient panel. The agency does not require the label to also specify that they naturally contain MSG. Foods with any ingredient that naturally contains MSG cannot claim no MSG or no added MSG on their packaging. MSG cannot be listed as spices and flavoring. What this company is trying to do is that, no, there may be a person on whom MSG may have a debilitating effect. Basically, that this company does not care for these people. And I can tell you, in America, they would have. It's only in India they try and get away. Mr. Sridhar.
Only point is, we know lead is bad for children. We know lead is a slow poison. Why the hell are we not checking all the products
sir,
which
you
people
tell me,
are allowed
why
to
does it brazen it out here about the safety of the product and not do that in the United States of America or in Canada or in the United Kingdom? No, I am asking you why there are double standards. Does this company think, Mr. Sridhar, does this company think that Indians are a lower species, that Indian lives are expendable, that Indian children can be subject to slow poisoning while Chinese and American and European children cannot? And why is it wrong for us to ask this question?
No, it is not
what
wrong
you're
to
saying,
ask.
or Prahlad Kakkar is saying, why is this question not being asked 30 years before?
It is not asked.
Exactly.
That's not a relevant question.
Only thing which I am saying, ask the same question to our authorities. What the hell are they doing all these years?
No, after that what? After that they will discipline themselves.
No,
after that they will not
take... We're not just talking about Nestle or any of the other food companies.
I just want to ask you one thing.
We are talking about...
What is your point of view on Mr. Buckle's press conference today?
What
was it arrogance or ignorance?
No. What I'm saying is he might be arrogant, he might be do whatever he wants.
No, he's arrogant.
We are talking about Indians. Yeah. We are talking about our children. We are talking about the next generation. We are living in a polluted environment.
Oh, please.
What the hell are we doing about it?
Well, you know, one second. By this argument, you would go out and tell Indian children, you're being poisoned anyway. If a nice American company is making some money by poisoning you a little bit more, it's okay. I don't agree with that argument.
No, I don't agree with it at all.
Well, I don't agree with your view, Mr. Prahlad.
When should we start putting our foot down?
We should start putting our foot down now.
Madhuresh.
We should start putting our foot down about everything.
Madhuresh.
Take a hard look at existing logic.
Madhuresh.
And everything, I think.
Madhuresh and Bejon Misra has the last word today on this debate.
I'm only saying we should take a hard look today at each and every product of the Nestle. That's one. Number two, Make in India campaign, we progress, we go, but we subject the same standards to every other company we are inviting in India. Third, we should not allow ourselves to be treated as a lab rat, as a guinea pig.
Well put.
That is happening extremely bad. We have to deal with them.
And if you also believe...
Heavy punishments, we have to do that.
If you also believe that Indians are not lab rats, if you believe that Indian children are not guinea pigs, you can, using that hashtag Maggi Recall, give us your point of view. We'll carry your point of view on this channel. I thank you all very much. And Mr. Buckle, I think Mr. Buckle needs to say sorry before he takes the flight out of India. Paul Buckle needs to pay the price that people before him have not. I thank you all for joining me on debate number 1 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you, gentlemen.